Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 13th of November. So, before I look at the charts themselves, let's have a quick look at the technicals. The fundamentals even, and what we've got coming out, what's in store today in terms of risk events. Well, Monday, not a lot is the answer. Monday the 13th here, not a great deal. Important to look ahead for the week a little bit. Tomorrow we've got the jobs figures coming out for the UK, and if you're looking at the UK, Wednesday we've got inflation. Really key, this inflation number. They expected it to be at 4.7 at the moment. That's supposed to be half of what it was last year, so we'll see. Then we've got a number of other numbers coming in US wise. In fact, US we have got inflation through as well, starting tomorrow. So inflation numbers really key, of course, at the moment. Still sort of leading the market somewhat. Okay, anyway, so nothing for today that's going to adversely affect us. So the markets themselves, this euro, I keep on looking at it. I mean, it's just horrible. It's gone really horrible. Last week was a classic. I mean, it did get into some ranges, but support still into that weekly pivot last week. Now's the question, I guess, is whether we're going to see a reversal coming into this week's pivot here. We've got a hint of downside. We've got a fractional lower high there. A correction here, well, could signify a further retreat down towards that S1. But you ever get the looking at this price action and get the feeling that you're going to just see more chop until something more significant comes out? Certainly do here. Pound dollar, similar-ish. Had a bit more of a trend towards the end of last week, but very small movement there on Friday. Again, lots of chop in the midst of the week. Again, really looking to see if we get back, retrace towards the weekly pivot again. On Friday, I popped the alert in here for the pivot. Never got anywhere. I mean, it was just horrible. Really do need to see something kicking into these markets. I'm just going to drag this up now, actually, because I'm interested in it from there. So we'll let it ride up there. It's got a reasonable probability, of course, for that pivot being hit. We'll see how it reacts. Of course, I'm not looking at, just really emphasize this, if it hits it, I don't sell it the moment it hits it. I look for the reversals coming away from it. So I'm looking for the reversals. I quite like the start of this trend here. Running into that level would be fine, but let's see what happens, and then look for the reversal. The pound dollar, US dollar yen even, has continued this ride to the upside here, slowly and gradually getting closer and closer to the this year's highs. It's not far away from it at all now. Drifting its way up there. It would seem that the Bank of Japan have sort of stepped away the idea of doing too much to avoid it going much higher, and with the very low interest rates, it seems to be favoured for the carry in terms of what the big money's even saying, well, why not why not be long on the dollar against the yen here? So it's drifting that way. Whether it's got a lot of movement in it is another matter, and whether the risk reward pays out is a question. At the moment, I'm just leaving it alone. Aussie dollar last week at one stage, was it last week or the week before? It was actually a week before. It looked like it had some legs to go, but last week it did roll over on the Monday and followed through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Bounce on today again. I'm just looking at the potential of the tap into the weekly pivot. I'll just pop the alert on there as I'm speaking. And again, just a reminder, it's putting lower highs, lower lows. It's shaping up perfectly. But if it gets up towards that, then I'm looking at a I need a signal to show a reversal up here, plain old signal, and then looking down towards the S1 again. Did it last week, eventually come retested there on the Wednesday. It was later in the day, it sort of drifted, and then finally on Thursday hitting the level. But anyway, US dollar CAD. Just a right old mess in the US dollar CAD. I still expect further upside looking at the bigger picture here. It did, yeah, the dollar had sold off against the CAD, but it's got into a real mess, to be fair. I'm looking at it. We could do the inversion and look at the test and see if we get the support off its weekly pivot. It's quite a mess at this stage. I'll leave that until it hits the alert. New Zealand dollar, well, you can see what happened here largely on the last couple of days at least, and it slowed its path down again. I was looking for a retracement on this. It was on Friday, wasn't it? Pivots, if they come back in. I've managed to lose my pivots for some reason, whether it's just there it is, slow loading. I was waiting for a retracement, just never happened, so never had a signal, never traded it. This is just a case of waiting again now, just moving that alert up there. There we go, and we'll see what happens off the underside there if we start getting a reaction. If it starts reacting to the pivot, well, then we've got plenty of downside potential before we have any pivot support at least. I'm just looking at normal support and resistance. Yes, there is an area 2/3 of the way down there. Dollar Swissy, just chopping along here. It is in this rising channel. It's a bit like the euro in that respect, but if you take the line away from here and just look at it on the shorter time frames, there's lots of sideward chop here, and for me it's best avoided. I'm not trying to range trade this, but even the ranges are getting smaller on each occasion, so you're getting into these sort of wedge patterns which become very unpredictable. Got a 50-50 chance on a pennant stroke wedgie sort of pattern there, so best left. Euro yen pushing up here, solid old action, but nothing there setting up for me at the moment. It's already done everything for it. It's to hit the pivot there, put in a reversal candle even, and off it's gone out of my trading session. Goodness, having problems getting the words out this morning. Euro yen. Sorry, I'm running through these here quickly. Just really. Euro pound. So we've double topped into that move on Friday into the quarterly pivot there. Now it's a case here, it comes off. Better off looking for me with the trend that's kicking there, waiting for it to come down here and taking the long side, pushing upwards with what we've been seeing here. But we have got this sort of double top reaction. If it just keeps coming through, break through the pivot, I'll stand aside of it. Okay, a couple of the usual suspects. Euro Aussies continuing in the upward direction here, again looking for retracements. To start looking back at the sort of weekly pivots at the moment. Daily pivots already been here. Such a thin old day on Friday. A lot of the pivots today are quite close together, so they have less significance, but the weeklies are there for the opportunities if they come back. It's just a mess. We're starting to get inside ranges, and yes, it's good because at some point they'll push out, but I'm not trying to get into any of those whilst they're doing that. It's just too unreliable. Okay, that's pretty much it for me at the moment. We'll obviously go through in the trading room with more of those. Aside of that, then let's have a quick look at gold. Just looking at the bigger picture here. So here's a tester into its monthly pivot. Is it going to actually give us a decent reversal? Would be looking for a daily reversal as opposed to just a short-term reversal. It could be coming off its S3 here, last week's S3, back towards the pivot. Now, key point here. I mean, we've had the lower highs in there. There could be a short-term trade into that pivot with the potential of that being hit, but personally, in the way it's been riding here, I'd wait for it to hit the pivot. If it breaks above it, then we've got the chance of the monthly pivot being played out, but at the moment these lower time pivots can well get in the way there, so its reaction to its weekly pivot I'm waiting for there. Simple really, just waiting. Oil still on the downward trend, lower highs, low lows running through here now. We've seen it for a few weeks now. We're maybe trying some bottoming. I'm just looking at the structure of the price action. It's sold off on then towards the end of last week. We put this higher low in on the hourlies. Just appear. I mean, it's got quite quite oversold, and it's bounced into its quarterly S1 down here. It could be just getting to that point where it consolidates more or ranges. I'm just looking at the price fundamentally as well. There won't be too many producers that want to see it go much lower than where it is, although it's certainly higher than it started the year, but it's got that potential to just consolidate where it sits there fundamentally. Technically it's already run through. It's still got actually the probability S2 still quite good on the monthlies here. We've not hit the monthly pivot there. It's broken the S1, so S2 has a 75% chance of being hit here. So banding wedgie sort of pattern there on Friday. Did manage the positive bar, but it's to me looking quite ugly where it is at the moment. I'll do some more analysis on this during the daytime here, but all the signs are that interest rates ain't going to drop too quickly, and that's the surprise that we saw in the market last week. But technically here we are seeing a surge there. The big money, I'll check it again. I haven't done my analysis quite yet this morning, but I'll be checking what the big money is doing here. But it did switch a little bit. It has been a little bit more positive, but it can be fickle when it comes up to prior highs, etc. Okay, German DAX, quite a messy old pattern really. Still for me, it's got into this horrible price action we've seen for lots of the time. Really risky movements. It did eventually get the reaction on Friday there. I was looking at it earlier in the morning there to see what developed. It did eventually come off there to its S1. Took some time, but pretty messy. FTSE, just looking at the FTSE. The FTSE's just check that it has changed to the FTSE here. Looking again quite ugly in its overall. It's ranging in the bigger picture here. I just think when you look at it like this on the 4 hourlies and you see the week last week and what a mess it was, to me as a swing trader, looking at it from a swing point of view, it doesn't look like it's got a lot on at this stage. Maybe as a day trader there's stuff for you, but we get periods like this. This is the middle of the day, sort of. I say the middle of the main chunk of the trading day, and it's just chopping like this. Yes, Friday came off quite nicely. Again, same as the Euro, the DAX even. It gave us this reversal. Didn't have a big enough target for me for it to play the swing that was sort of sitting in there with the S1 and the previous lows all sitting there, but it did actually run onwards, carried on through. Probability is not that great. It didn't actually hit S2, but anyway. So choppy at the moment. That's pretty much it for me this morning. There's still some analysis to be done for me. I need to go back through the currencies there and see if there's anything that retrospectively looks any better than it was this time. I give it an hour or so, and so often things develop a bit better. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.